Hey everyone, we're back and we're going to be talking about the different types of parenting styles. And we're going to go through, kind of give some of the characteristics of each one. And then there are some video examples in here as well, but we're not going to watch a video within a video. That's some real Inception type stuff. So instead, I strongly encourage you guys to watch the videos on the copy of the notes that you're going to get. They're really great examples of each of the different types of parenting styles. So we're going to look at the three main ones today. The first one, or actually three types of main parenting styles is the authoritarian. I also like to call it the dictator parents, and you'll see why here in just a couple minutes. Then we're going to look at the assertive democratic parenting styles, and lastly, the permissive or passive parenting style. Do you know that each parenting style will be different, and then children within the same family may respond to a different style than their siblings? It's just kind of how it is. Each child is different, and once we understand that not all children, even raised in the same household, all children will respond differently to these parenting styles, and we'll see which one works best for the family. Most of us do try to put forward the assertive democratic style because you get the better results, but also you get children that are independent that also tend to follow rules. So we'll see the characteristics from there, and then you'll be able to tell too which parenting styles that your parents tend to use on you. So the first one we're going to look at is the authoritarian style. This parenting style believes that children should obey their parents without question. They are very much it's my way, no highway option. You just do what I say when I tell you to do it, and you don't question me about it. So if it doesn't make sense to you, it doesn't matter. You just do what I say. The parent tells the child what to do. The child's responsibility is to just do it. When the rules are broken, this parenting style, the authoritarian parent, typically responds very quickly and firmly. So if you're late coming home by 10 minutes, you're grounded for 10 weeks. It's very harsh. You forgot to put gas in the car after you borrowed it, you don't get to borrow the car for a month. So it's very, very quick. These authoritarian parents also tend to use more corporal punishment as well. So they tend to follow spankings, slappings of the hands, and things like that, where your other parenting styles, not so much. Do keep in mind, again, we're not going to get into the debate over spanking and how that's related to child abuse and things like that, because each of us is different, and it's actually a whole nother conversation that we could get into. So we're just going to stick to the facts on this. So if you've ever seen that 70s show, it's a really great example if you know how Red is as a parent. Again, we're not going to watch a video within a video, but on your guys' copy of this, I strongly suggest you watching this, because not only how he acts, but also what he says is a great example of the authoritarian style. The second style we're going to look at is the assertive democratic. So in this style, children have more input into the rules and limits of the home. It gives them a sense of ownership, that they know what's going to happen if they break a rule. In fact, they've actually come up with some of the consequences to follow when rule breaking happens. They learn to take responsibility. That's really important to this parenting type. It's to understand that their children do need to have responsibilities that are age appropriate. So children are given a certain amount of independence and freedom of choice, but all within the rules. So instead of picking out your kids' clothes every single day and you telling them what they're going to wear, you give them the choice of, hey, here's 3 outfits. You get to pick within those 3 outfits. When rules are broken, this parent believes the children learn best from accepting the results of their actions or by problem solving together to find an acceptable punishment. So instead of you were grounded for 10 minutes, you were late for 10 minutes past curfew, so now you're grounded for 10 weeks. And so they say, okay, you're late. What do you think is an appropriate action? They sometimes will let them pick it, but you also got to remember too, they're not going to say, oh, okay, I have to leave 10 minutes later going out next time. Not necessarily, because they still want you to learn the lesson that actions have consequences when rules are broken. So it could be, all right, this weekend I planned on hanging out with my friend. Maybe I can't do that. Or instead of being able to go out with my friend has to come back here. They get some sort of input within the rules. This is also the one, again, put a big star by this. Keep this one in mind. A lot of professionals in this field, in the early childhood or child development field, are really wanting to push for this assertive democratic parenting style because, again, the parent is still in charge, but the child does not fear the parent, and the child also doesn't run over the parent either. There's a lot of give and take with this. So again, this is from Everybody Loves Raymond. This is really great. He actually is using some of the techniques he learned in a parenting group and in order to be an assertive parent while also giving out punishment. And he explains the behavior. So this is a really great example. If you look in this example too, watch the mom and what her parenting style is and how that's affecting the conversation between the child. The last parenting style that we're going to look at is the permissive or the passive parenting style. Both are correct answers. This style, parents give children a wide range of freedom. They have very, very little rules. In fact, the kids may actually set their own rules. So they decide when to go to bed. They decide if they're even going to sleep in their own bed, if they're going to sleep on the couch, if they're going to sleep in mommy and daddy's bed. They pretty much run the show. They are encouraged to think for themselves and not follow trends. So they're really told to kind of step outside the box. With that, permissive parents typically ignore rule breaking. So even if they did have one or two rules in the house, they're not going to address it if a child breaks it. So if you look in this picture, for example, this kid's throwing a ball in the house. I don't know about you guys, but a common rule in my house growing up is outside toys are meant to play for outside. So soccer, football, bikes, rollerblades, you couldn't do any of that in the house. Well, if this kid's about to throw it, mom's probably going to ignore it, even if the rule is outside toys are for outside. I will tell you in past times, though, that doesn't mean that children raised under the permissive style are going to be kids who don't know how to follow rules or who completely break them. Sometimes because they do tend to think for themselves, they do set some of their own boundaries. So you could have a kid whose parent is a more permissive parent and say, I don't care when you return home from your friends, just let me know, instead of giving them that defined curfew. And permissive children maybe more like, okay, well, I think reasonably coming home at 11 on a school night is fair, instead of staying out till 2, 3, or 4 in the morning and then wondering why they're having a hard time getting up for school the next day. So do know that children raised under permissive styles can still learn rules to follow by. They may struggle with it for just a little bit, though. And again, if you guys have ever seen Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, do understand that the parents here are both extremely permissive and let the daughter get away with anything, hence why she screams and yells and tries to get her way. And in fact, the mom is a complete enabler, because if you watch this, try to catch what she says at the end to the husband after they found the golden ticket. And again, let me put out there too, children that come from permissive parenting styles do not always act like Veruca. This is kind of an exception to the rule, but I wanted you guys to see a perfect example of it. So here's something kind of new. I really hope you guys watch this video because it explains this. Instead of opening up your assignment on a completely different document, I'm going to have you guys do your assignment that's actually on your notes. So you'll just submit your notes for a grade. Again, there's nothing for you to fill out, but your assignment is attached here. So we're going to look at the parenting styles. It's a little sorting activity. So right now I'm in presentation mode. So I'm going to get out of presentation mode because that's how you guys are going to be able to edit this. So we're on slide 10 right now, if you guys see right here. So on slide 11 are many characteristics of the different types of parenting styles. What you're going to do is you're going to move the boxes on slide 11 to the correct category on slide 12. So here's slide 11 right here, and here's your characteristics. All of these will fit under one of the 3 categories that we just looked at. Here's where you're going to actually put the answers. And what I've done, I've made it where these boxes won't move on you at all, so you don't have to worry about it kind of getting weird. You're going to come up here, and let's look at the first one together. So rigid and controlling. Which parenting style does this characteristic fit? Well, we know it's not permissive because the parents are definitely not controlling whatsoever. In fact, the child is controlling. It's not really authoritarian, or it's not really assertive because the parents have some control but not total control. So that leaves authoritarian. So what you're going to do, click on the box, right click, you're going to cut it. You're going to go down to the next slide, and we've determined that it's authoritarian. So just paste it. And there you go. You can leave it just like that. You can center it to be all nice and pretty. I don't really care, just as long as the answers are on there. All of these will eventually end up all down here in each category. Okay? Any questions? Make sure you email me.